Hello class, let's solve these two equations. These are two inequalities and graph them. So the first thing you want to do is the one on the left here, and let's solve it just like we solve other equations. The goal should be first to put all the x's or the variables on one side and the numbers on the other side, and then eventually end up with one x is greater than or less than or whatever the inequality is, and the numbers on the other side. So the first thing we want to get rid of is the x's. Always move the x's first to the one side. I'm going to move it to the left side here, or get rid of the x's on the right side in this case, because that would be the easiest thing to do. So subtracting an x from both sides, that cancels out this x on the right side, and the x's on the left side would combine and give you 2x. And the minus 5 comes down as this, greater than or equal to positive 7, or you can just say 7. Now let's get rid of this negative 5 on the left side, or minus 5, by adding a 5. That would eliminate that minus 5 on the left side. You end up with 2 x's on the left is greater than or equal to 12. 2x, to get rid of that, again, eventually we want to have just 2 or x, not 2x, so we're going to divide by 2, and you end up with x is greater than or equal to 6. So to graph this, we're going to put the 6 in the center of the number line, and I always like to use 0. So between 6 and 0 there are 6, so going 6 to the other side, you would end up with 12. When you draw the graph, always start with a circle. Looking at the inequality, there's an equal sign there. So since there's an equal sign, I will shade in that small circle. Now we want to see if we're going to shade the left side or the right side. I always like to test the 0 if you can. So testing the 0, say 0 is greater than or equal to 6. Is this correct? Yes or no? It is not correct. So that means we're gonna shade the opposite side. So this is the graph for 3x minus 5 is greater than or equal to x plus 7. On the other side here, so let's look at the other inequality. Here we have a little bit of work. You can do it in two different ways. The easy way, or the simpler way to do it, is to expand the side, the left side, by multiplying in the minus 2 by x plus 7. However, I'm going to do it slightly differently. I'm going to divide both sides by negative 2. And you can do that because you can actually divide both sides of this inequality by negative 2. These two negative 2 are going to cancel out, and 4 by negative 2. However, since we're dividing by a negative number, we are going to flip the inequality. So on the left side, you're going to end up with x plus 7, and the inequality is going to flip. On the right side, 4 divided by negative 2 is negative 2x, and the x doesn't change. To do this work, you can get rid of the minus 2x again. You want to put the x's on one side. To get rid of this minus 2x, you have to add 2 x's. So add 2x to both sides, and you're going to end up with 3x plus 7 is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, now we have 7 on one side, so you want to get rid of that 7 by subtract 7 from both sides. These two add up to 0, so you end up with 3x, and that is greater than or equal to negative 7. 3x, you want to get rid of that 3, so you divide by 3's, so you end up with x is greater than or equal to negative 7 over 3, or 2 1/3. Okay, so that is the number that you're going to put in the bottom here, so -2 1/3. So the 0 for this one here is going to be on the right side because it's a negative number, and on the left you can use so 2 1/3 over, so that's going to be -4 2/3. You don't have to do that. You can say -5 or a number smaller than -2 1/3. So it doesn't have to be that. I just like to be even on both sides. So again, I'll test the 0 in this case because that's the easiest thing. After I circle the -2 1/3. -2 1/3, is that included? Yes, it is included in the solution. So let's test the 0. Is 0 greater than or equal to -2 1/3? Yes, it is. So if it is, we are going to shade in that side. And this is the solution for this inequality.